Hi, if you're watching this, you are probably wondering, how can I use this tank effectively and not get obliterated in the first minute of putting it into battle? This video will try and oversee some of the tactics you can use, how to drive it, navigate it, fire it, and position it on the map to best suit a state of war. So I'm going to walk through how the tank works. You'll spawn it at your base. It is only available to warrant officers and the SWC, and it has two seats. It has a hatch here for the gunner. You click 1 and you can move it with your mouse. The tank has limited ability to aim. It's not got a cursor to it, so when you are aiming it, there will be some element of guesswork when doing it. You press C to fire, and it's approximately 8 seconds to reload, and you can move it around and try and find where it will shoot. So it will take some guesswork. It's not meant to be completely accurate, but you will eventually get the hang of it. This is to make sure it's not too overpowered, and it will ensure that players get some time to get used to it. Moving on. First thing you want to do with the tank is to position it somewhere not too close to where the enemy will be, because you must remember the tank is extremely slow and it is not well suited for fighting a lot of infantry at close quarter combat. If you want to position the tank in an effective way, I would suggest putting it at the end of a corner or where it is well hidden. There are two uses for the tank on the JSA. One is for helping to transport infantry into a battle by providing cover. The tank has armor on the front, meaning that any infantry marching behind the tank will be covered. So what you can do is, as I'm doing right now, move the tank through the tunnel, and at the back you'll be able to provide sufficient cover for any sort of infantry maneuver. And you can therefore spring an attack that way. The second thing you can do using the tank is to position it somewhere on the map. It is recommended that you either go for two areas on the map, somewhere with sufficient high ground to be able to take enemies from afar, or through a ditch, as this will provide more cover. By putting it into a ditch, you can give it as much cover that it needs from any sort of enemy attack. It is harder to reach the tank from here, and you'll have less of it exposed to any sort of enemy attack. So just having it here will give it enough cover and whatnot. And then finally, final area I'd recommend is probably behind a hill or somewhere with high ground. You want to keep the tank still and not moving, and The further it is away from the KPA infantry, the better, because it will take them time to catch to you. And the more distance you give yourself, the more time you give yourself to fire back and provide a more efficient response. So maybe just position it. This is optimal. All right. There we go. This way, you can take out more of them as they come. Yeah, try will be taken out very quickly. Yeah, I advise putting it up on a hill and maybe have a few low ranks behind the tank to provide cover, and this way you can protect your infantry and yourself. But the key here is to distance yourself from the infantry and really give yourself some time to respond. What is not advisable is sending it into the center of a battle, because the minute you get in range in close quarter with the KPA, you'll be taken out very quickly. Thank you for listening. If you have any other suggestions, please do not send it to me.